You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Looking forward to having you today on the Cabral Concept on our Friday review, where I'm going to review a couple of my favorite products from over the past couple weeks, a few that I've wanted to bring you, especially for the winter time, of course, and then one for people out there who are looking to maybe branch out into the health and fitness world, where I can share a little bit of insight there. So kind of excited to get started, and that's because just the other night, literally, I got home. My wife had made this vegan-based eggnog, and I had to share this recipe with you. And I had seen the cashews sitting on our counter the night before, and they were just basically soaking. So really one of the best ways to digest nuts is to soak them. And some people know that, some people don't. It's kind of one of those things as you start to get more into natural health and natural eating, you learn that beans and nuts and a lot of these things that contain lectins or phytic acid or some type of protective outer coating are easier to digest if they've been sprouted or they've been soaked or both. And so one of the nice things is that you can make them much softer, much easier to digest by simply soaking nuts, and in this case cashews, in a bowl of water for a day or so. You know, right around there. I think my wife soaked them for maybe 12 hours to 16 hours or so. And then what you do is you can just rinse them off, and you definitely want to obviously dump out the water. You want to get rid of all the water that's kind of soaked away some of the anti-nutrients that you don't want from the cashews, and just get rid of them. Now, is it okay to have cashews or almonds or walnuts or pecans or any of those things without soaking them? Sure, absolutely. If you don't have issues with lectins, then no problem at all. If you have strong digestion that you could break down nuts, then good. Probably chew them up really well to a paste, but you know, that's another story. So one thing, though, is that she was soaking them, and I said, what's that for? And she said, you'll see tomorrow night. I said, okay, great. So what I did when I came home, she was just refrigerating it. So she had just made it a couple hours before that. And she said, you have to taste this. Let me know what you think. And sometimes she comes up with these, you know, great recipes that she's seen. This one in particular, I want to give credit where credit is due. This one is called, it's from just unconventionalbaker.com. And I can link this up on the show notes because I always love to give credit. I'll be doing that quite a bit on today's show to those people who are doing great things. And since I'm definitely not a chef, I mean, I'm not against cooking. I can follow directions, but you know, it's not something that I do on a regular basis. I like to give credit, obviously, where credit's due. So if it's not a smoothie, I probably didn't come up with a recipe. And so this is this one. I want to give it to you. Now, you don't need to soak the cashews like we did, but I can recommend it's an easier way to get some of those lectins out, some of the anti-nutrients out. Although, believe it or not, cashews is just a little bit lower because technically cashews, peanuts, they're considered a legume rather than a nut. But here we go. So we've got 1/2 cup of raw cashews, okay, soaked or otherwise, 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk, 5 to 6 soft pitted dates, and you can get your favorite dates of choice because there are many dates out there. 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I personally prefer the non-alcohol based versions of extracts that are non-GMO as well. So that's typically what I do. Now, again, you can choose to do what works best for you. 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and you can use that for sprinkling over your vegan eggnog. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of cloves and 1/8 of a teaspoon of sea salt. Okay, so we have this great recipe. It's just cashews, almond milk, dates, vanilla extract, some nutmeg, some cloves, and some salt. You'll notice there is no dairy, so there's no regular cow's milk, and there are no eggs. So we're looking here at a vegan-based eggnog that I would never have thought in a million years that would have tasted good, because personally, I actually used to love eggnog growing up. Like, I don't even want to tell you how much I enjoyed eggnog growing up. My mom always used to buy, it was kind of nasty, but we would buy this brand. I'm not going to name the brand, but it was a very, very cheap form of eggnog. And I would drink like a half a liter a day. And I just loved it so much. Of course, That didn't do me well for all the sinus infections that I used to get and the gut-based dysfunction. But anyway, it tasted delicious. So this is just a much healthier recipe of how do you make it? Well, soak those cashews, discard the water, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put everything in a blender, all right? So you're going to process this high speed. We have the Blendtec and the Vitamix. So essentially for this one, though, I can just let you know we use the Blendtec for that, but you can use totally either. You can also use the Ninja. Just check out, go to stephencabral.com/podcast. Type in blender. I give you my top 4 blenders at all different price ranges that anybody can get. Anything from the Ninja all the way up to a Blendtec to a Vitamix. And I've got a couple in there as well. So you want to make that nice and smooth. And then what you'll do is you can either chill it or you can actually serve it warm. Some people may add an adult beverage to it. That's your choice, of course, during the holidays. But I'll tell you right now, this is pretty much hypoallergenic. Unless you have an issue with dates, almond milk, or cashews, like the raw cashews is making the thick cream. That's why you're using the cashews themselves. Then it's pretty much hypoallergenic. And of course, if you have any issues with almond milk, you could use coconut milk or oat milk or hemp milk or another type of milk as well. And if you wanted to add even a little bit more flavor, you're welcome to do the unsweetened vanilla nut milk if you chose to as well. So just thought I'd share that. I'm telling you right now, really enjoyed it. I know that we have friends coming over. We always have friends over for the holidays. We visit a lot of family in the area. And I know that we'll be bringing that, I'm sure, to their homes, filled in nice little glass mason jars for everyone to enjoy. Just thought I'd share it. Really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. So let's move on. Next topic is one. So I want to get to one of my favorite immune boosters that there's a great company out there that I just haven't seen anything comparable yet. Now, next year, might there be something different? Sure. But for right now, during the winter, as an overall great immune booster, meaning like one you can take every day, I'll share with that in just a moment. But for the first part, my goal, and I'm going to go all out on this, I really am. My goal for 2018 is I want to make sure that anybody who wants to literally take their life, take their career, take their health, take their body, take their spirituality, take all of those things to the next level, I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. We're going to try to create a digital magazine. We're going to try to create more videos on top of the podcast. The podcast will still be every day. I'm going to be bringing on guest experts once or twice a month. Like, I really want to go all out. So I want you to join CabralSupportGroup.com. It's completely free. It's just our support group. And when you want something from us, like you just say to us, I would love to see this, and I'm going to take it in consideration. I'll tell you right now, everything we do with my online company, which is just StephenCabral.com, and we just call it Cabral Research, is to provide the best research, the best tools, the best whatever you need to make sure that you can achieve your goals. But I want 2018 to be different. I really do. Meaning that, we can look back with a lot of regret in the past. I really could have done that for the decade that I feel like I lost out on. I mean, really, I feel like I lost out on a lot of what I would love to have been able to do. But I'll tell you right now, there's no regrets. It's the worst thing in life is to be able to have those regrets. So what I want to do is I want to see how can we move you forward in 2018. I've been getting a lot of people in my private practice, whether it's over Skype, anywhere in the world, or whether it's in Boston, okay? We'll work with people privately. But I've been getting a lot of questions through the Cabral House Call as well, where I help people on the weekends with those questions. And here's the thing. A lot of people are looking to get into health as a career. Maybe it's a personal trainer, maybe nutritionist, maybe yoga instructor, maybe life coach, whatever it might be, okay? Anything in the health field. So anything in the health field. And I get asked, should I go back to school? I'm 30 years old, I'm 40 years old, I'm 50 years old, or I even have people in their 60s, which I think is phenomenal, who are saying, should I go back to school and get my degree in, let's just say, nutrition or in exercise physiology or whatever, right? Should I go back to school or should I get a certification? So I want to answer that today because then I'll always be able to refer back to the show. There's 2 roads you could take. Okay, I accumulated certifications from the age of 18 until about 25. So first I became certified in nutrition. A lot of people thought I got certified in personal training first. I actually got certified in nutrition first. Nutrition was my first love. It's my second, my third, and today, that's like still the main thing because everything goes back to food, right? It always goes back to food. Digestion, we're talking about food. We're talking about the microbiome. It's still about food. It's still about what you're feeding your body, whether it be nutritional supplements or food or whatever, right? It's about food. That's what it's about. So nutrition is always first. And then after I became a certified nutritionist, did a couple different certifications for that. Some took a couple months, some took a year. And then I became a certified personal trainer when I was in college. Okay, so then I started working with people from both a body and a nutrition-based perspective. I love that. And I would like to think that I was able to help people make some really good change in their life. And so what I'm trying to say is just with a certification, just as an 18-year-old kid, I was able to start a career because I wasn't like an 18-year-old kid who knew exactly what he wanted to do in life. Remember, I'm a sick kid at that point. I'm just trying to put my own life back together. I'm trying to help people at the same time. And I got a lot of relief from that. Like, it was almost my own therapy. Honestly, it was. It was psychotherapy for myself because I would read, I would research for myself. I would then share those tidbits with my clients. My clients would start to get results. Of course, they were getting results, but I wasn't because I was at such a deep level sick, right? They were overweight. They were inflamed. They had high cholesterol. They were smokers. They had high blood pressure. And I was able to help them fix that because not that I knew how to do that, but I was able to fix their exercise and nutrition. Then everything started to get better for them. And I was like, this is remarkable. Like, I didn't mean to help you with cholesterol or blood pressure or, mood or depression or any of these things. Like, that was not my intention, but it happened. And I just found it so remarkable. So it pushed me to do more. Again, I was not really getting better. I was relapsing all the time. I'd feel better for a few weeks, relapse. Feel better for a few weeks, relapse. Part of that was I pushed my body too hard as I started to heal. And that's what I try to teach, people today. If you're at that worst level, if you're really bad, most people aren't. Keep in mind, most people aren't that bad, all right? So it's somewhere between like just a little bit sick and really bad, right? There's a big in-between space that we try to help people with. So, well, here's the deal. I feel like I was helping a good amount of people at that time. And the more knowledge I accumulated, the more I was able to help people. Then I decided to go back and get some specialty certifications. Strength and conditioning coach. I started working with professional athletes, Olympic athletes, NFL players, PGA players, fitness competitors. Ran the gamut. And I just started to then maybe build a little bit more of a notoriety around that. And that was great. And then I became a specific golf conditioning coach. I went back, I loved yoga, and I became a yoga instructor. So what I'm trying to say is I just kept accumulating certifications every year, and that broadened my knowledge. I'll tell you right now, there's no way I would have been able to accumulate that much knowledge if I had said, okay, I've already graduated from undergrad. Why don't I go back and become an exercise physiologist? There was honestly no need for that. And I know that's going to maybe upset some exercise physiologists, but it shouldn't because I have the highest respect for you as well. But I am someone that loves to read. So I can read a couple hundred books in a year, which would be the equivalent to 3-4 years of actually going to school, meaning like from the books. And so again, everyone will have different opinions on that. It's simply my opinion. But what I'm saying is when you're in school for one thing, you don't go broad on it. Meaning like you stay in the middle on one specific niche, which is great. Again, which is great. No problems with that. If you know that you want to be an athletic trainer, well, then go to college for that. Like that's fantastic. But for those of you who don't know what you want to specify in, well, why not get a half a dozen certifications in different things or read 20 books? Why don't you just read 2 books a month or so? Finish that over the next 10 months. Get a feel for what you're looking to get into. Start to get some certifications. Then if you really need to become that type of pro, go back and get your degree. Now, I'm going to sum this up right now. Who should get your degree? Well, at some point, my mentor was just saying like, honestly, you put in this much work. You've read thousands of books, more books than I have, more this, and this. It's just not structured. You honestly now should go back to school. And that's the interesting thing. So she said, you should put this all together. You're not as structured maybe as you should be. Why not go back to school for your doctoral degree in naturopathy? Because then you can take your level of service to the world, which is what you want to do, to the next level. And I want you to then to go to the Institute for Functional Medicine and do your postdoctoral work. Because remember, even if you get a degree, people think it stops there. It doesn't. Like I still got certifications while I was going to school as well for my doctoral degree. And I just spoke with someone yesterday, and that's kind of one of the reasons why this topic popped up. She's in naturopathy school. And so again, to be honest, if you're thinking about becoming a naturopathic doctor and you know that's your path, you don't want to just do certifications, I can't talk you out of that. I mean, it is amazing. So don't get me wrong, like check into naturopathy schools that you think are fantastic. And again, there's 5 or 6 main certified ones, accredited ones, which you'll want to go with. And the reason is you'll just want to make your life easier. So check those out. And again, Bridgeport, Southwest, Bastyr, there's a lot of great schools out there. Those are just naming a few. I'm not playing favorites. It's any school that will give you a doctorate degree in naturopathy that's accredited. I think you should go with. I think it's fantastic. However, that's 4 years. Do you want to dedicate 4 years to that? Do you have the funds to be able to do that? Or this is the big thing, because this is what I explained to someone. Actually, I talked with 2 people yesterday. I do 1 day a week of health mentorship. And it's something that I love to do. And I just do 3 or 4 phone calls on that day. And what I do is I get to work with either their students or they've started their own health business. And so it's anywhere in between. It's either looking to start a health business or you're currently a health business. And I will work with you, and I almost basically completely booked up with that. But I will work with you if I feel like your mission is going to serve the world in some positive way. I get asked all the time to consult with companies who are trying to bring a weight loss pill to the market or this test or that test. And I have no interest. Right now, I'm at a great point in my life where I no longer have to do things in terms of like working with companies that I would choose not to. And I always felt that way, like meaning like I got opportunities to do different things. We'll just put it this way, different things back in the day, being flown to New York for a photo shoot for this thing, for that thing, to promote something. And I just wouldn't do it. Like it seemed cool. It seemed great. But at the end of the day, I'm like, do I want my name attached to some fat loss product that will forever be with me? And I just said, no, like it's just not worth it. Who you are, the person you are is your brand. That's it. And there's no such thing as branding. You just act like you. That's what it's about. You try to serve people. You try to help people, and you can do a lot of good. So if I see people who are really trying to do that I believe they can succeed, then I'm happy to work with them. So essentially what I said to one person, so one person was going for their ND, so obviously they're doing it, but now I wanted to tell them how to actually practice, because they don't teach you how to practice. They just teach you like naturopathic medicine. So I said, obviously now I want you to start studying here, like do this besides your schooling. And then for the other person, they were in their, I want to say early 50s. Yes, early 50s. And I said, do you really want to go back right now for 3 to 4 years of school to get your master's degree in nutrition they were going back for? Or do you want to just get certified in nutrition, go study some overall wellness as a health coach as well, start to read more books of what you believe will best serve people, and then start to work with a particular niche? And when I said it like that, she's like, well, yeah, I probably want to do that, because if I go study nutrition, they're going to tell me to serve a glass of milk to all children and to do this for their calcium, which we all know, if you're listening to this, is insane. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like that, again, if you really study nutrition, you really study the research, and the research beyond those paid for by dairy companies, like you're not going to get that. Like it just makes no sense. So again, I know that was a little bit all over the map, but what I'm saying is most people, unless you have this calling to become a registered dietitian, a calling to become a naturopathic doctor, a calling to become a medical doctor, or a calling to become an athletic trainer, something where you need that degree, that diploma, okay? If you need that to succeed, meaning like you want to work in a doctor's office or your own doctor's office or whatever it might be, then yes, do that. I'm not talking you out of that. But for 90% of the people, getting certified as a health coach, a nutritionist, of course, we're talking about reputable organizations. I'll go to reputable organizations in the future, but start to look into them from yourself. Personal trainer, I've talked about this in the past. National Academy of Sports Medicine, right? National Strength and Conditioning Association, American College of Sports Medicine. That's what we look for when we hire people as well. Just look for the best, get certified, take your time, and you're going to do great work. And then, of course, it's one stepping stone on top of the other. So hopefully that helps answer that question. Most people would be better served by becoming certified in something and then starting to put things into practice. All right, next up and last up, had to share this with you. And honestly, I am always searching nutritional supplements. So not only do I want to provide the best products for myself, my family, my private wellness clients, our online community, but I truly love nutritional supplements. I really do. It's hilarious. But I remember reading like big, thick textbooks in college, on addition to my own college work, just on nutritional supplements. Like when I was studying for my boards a bunch of years back, many years back, there was this big book called Modern Nutrition in Health and Disease, probably like 2,500 pages, font size, like 6 point, a big book. And I just literally ate it up because it went through all the vitamins, all the minerals, all these things that conventional medicine says, oh, there's no truth to that. Like, okay, we have a book that is just written by medical doctors on all the research. So again, if your doctor ever says, oh, there's no truth to those nutritional supplements, all it means is just walk away or just say, okay, thank you, or appreciate your opinion. But that doctor's done no research, like literally zero. Everything they say from that point forward, in my opinion, would be suspect. That's bottom line. Because if you say there's no research on nutritional supplements, you just haven't done any research. Like that's literally the truth. So anyway, I love nutritional supplements. They did help me get well. So of course there's going to be that bias, meaning like at some point, like I couldn't do it through food alone. And the reason is my digestive system was so destroyed from taking antibiotics for 3 years straight, every single day, 2 a day for amoxicillin, that I had nothing left, that my nervous system was totally dysfunctional. So I didn't have the ability to even turn on, that digestive system as well as I would have liked. I had H. pylori. I had a lot of things going on, okay? Nutritional supplements help give me my life back. So I will always be a proponent of great nutritional supplements. And I've always made a promise to our community that it would never be just about my brand. And I've told you this before. The only reason I founded Equilibrium Nutrition, that I'm the formulator for that, I don't have a lot to do with like how it gets shipped to you or anything like that. I formulate them, all right? I use the best ingredients known to man. That's it. I'll never compromise. So if our product's $8 more than another one, that's because it uses the best ingredients in the world. And our markup is so much less. Like, I'm doing this because I feel I need to bring these products to people. I'll tell you what, I talked about this on a previous Cabral concept, which a lot of people thought was funny. I don't even like making nutritional supplements. Like, I love nutritional supplements, but to create my own is a lot of work. So I'd much rather people do great things. So the only reason I would ever create a product is because I can make it for less and give it to you that way, because I can cut out the middle person, or the product does not exist in the marketplace. That's it. But if I find a great product, then I never make it. So what I want to share with you today, we have something called, this is not the product I want to tell you about, but we have something called the Adult Immune Protocol. That's just at StephenCabral.com/store. Click on supplements, or just go to today to StephenCabral.com/679. All right. On that page, I'm going to give you the vegan eggnog recipe, and I will give you a bunch of links. I'll give you the link to the Adult Immune Protocol and the Children's Immune Protocol. I want to qualify this. Those protocols are to be used when you feel yourself getting sick and when you get sick, okay? That's when you use those. But I'm talking about daily use now for the winter if needed, if you choose to. If you're someone that gets like a cold a month or a cold every 6 weeks or so, you might want to think about just a natural immune booster through the month of like March. You might want to use it for that long. Okay, I want to share with you a combo pack. I know this company called On It, but I don't have any like affiliation with them. I'm not partners with them or anything like that. What I'm trying to say is this. I think it's a great product. I haven't found anything similar to it, and I want to share this with you. And it's because it's something that I'm recommending in my practice to some people. How many people? A handful of people who need this, who need the immune boost, okay? They might not need it next winter, but they need it this winter. And I deal with people with where they're at now. It's called bioindividuality, okay? It's where you're at now. Until we help you get rebalanced, we'll want to give you a little bit of support. So anyway, the product is called Virutech or Virutech, okay? VIRU, kind of like virus. I think of it that way. So Virutech. And what it is, it's an antioxidant formula. It's actually not a great name for the product. So On It, if you're listening, it's an amazing product, one of the best. And it is against viruses. I know you probably can't say antiviral or anything like that, but it's so much more than antioxidants, okay? It contains vitamin C, it contains zinc, it contains selenium, and it contains a blend of L-lysine, quercetin, and alpha-lipoic acid. Why does this matter? Well, now I know that they know this because obviously it's a great formulation, but the main things you need as an antiviral that I talk about all the time in my protocols for any type of herpes virus or Epstein-Barr, any of these things is zinc, selenium, vitamin C, and L-lysine. They have all four of those in one product. They don't have it at a high dose, okay? They have it at a moderate to good dose. So I would probably use their product 2 capsules twice a day, okay? Instead of 2 capsules once a day. But that's your choice. Great product. And then they also package it with their immune support formula called Shroom Tech. Why do they call it Shroom Tech? Because it's a mushroom blend. So it contains chaga, it contains cordyceps, it contains reishi and shiitake. So great products. Immune boosting mushroom complex at 1,000 milligrams. So remember, this is not a slacker dosage. A lot of people will sell you these same exact things, but they put in what I call a dusting. It's nothing at all. Like zinc would be 1 milligram. No, that's not going to do anything. You need it at the dosage. 1,000 milligrams is a real deal amount for a mushroom blend. And then they also add turmeric, they add ginger, they add lemon peel, and they add in some black pepper, bioperine or bioperine, depending on how you like to pronounce it. That will help with the absorption. These two combined, you get the immune balancing effect of the mushroom-based blend. So that would be the natural, right? That would be the food-based. And then we get the orthomolecular or the functional medicine blend of the zinc, the selenium, the vitamin C, and the L-lysine. And plus with the alpha-lipoic acid, very powerful for detox as well as antioxidant. And then same with quercetin as well. So I just think it's a great product. I wanted to bring it to you today. And whether you choose to use it or not, maybe a friend needs it, right? This is what it's all about. Listen to the Cabral concept, not just for yourself, but maybe you can share this information with a family member okay? A friend, a coworker, somebody you care about that may need this information. I'm going to link up everything today at stephencabral.com/679. Thank you everyone for tuning into today's show. Truly appreciate it. Have a great weekend and be sure to tune back tomorrow where we start our Cabral host calls where I answer our community's questions each and every weekend. Take care. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.